Today, BYD revealed the new Seagull, its small electric car. It's very, very affordable. It's now open for sale. Within the first 24 hours, they said they sold more than 10,000. Should you get one? Well, that depends on where you live. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans, and I'm coming to you from, had the thing twice there, Jomtien in Pattaya in Thailand. I'm here for a reason. My wife is doing cancer treatments right now. If you want to know about that, any more information about what we're doing, I'll put a link in the description to our GoFundMe campaign. The new Seagull is a small electric car. It's sort of a similar interior dimension to a Toyota Yaris. Gives you a good idea on the size. It starts at $11,000 and it has a range of up to 405 kilometers. Apparently there will be a sodium battery powered version at some point in the future. Many people have been saying. However, this initial version has BYD's Blade battery pack. Maybe the sodium batteries aren't quite ready yet. I'm not sure. So that's the starting price, $11,400, 78,800 Chinese RMB. However, there is also a mid-spec version which costs about $1,000 more, and then there is a higher range version which costs $2,000 more than that. So you're looking at $11,000, $12,000, and $14,000 for the top specification vehicle, Seagull. So how big actually is it? Well, it's not a micro key car. It is actually a full-sized car. It's 3.8 meters long, 1.7 meters wide, and 1.5 meters high. Wheelbase is 2.5 meters. It's got a long wheelbase. It's a very practical car. You can see that that bonnet is quite short. So it's similar in some ways to the BYD Dolphin, where they're styled and shaped, designed in a way that reminds me a lot of the Honda Jazz. Long body and a short front. Very, very practical. That's what I like about these cars, in particular this and the BYD Dolphin. For comparison, the Wuling Bingo, which is the GM Wuling new EV, is a slightly bit bigger than this. It's nearly 4 meters, 3,950 millimeters long, 1.7 meters wide, and 1.58 meters tall. Its wheelbase is 2,560 millimeters. If you have a look at them, they're really similar in size though. So the GM Wuling Bingo is GM's new electric car in China. Will they release that in America? Probably not. Unfortunately, it would be great if they did. Now, the interesting thing is GM's version of this car is much cheaper. It's $2,500 cheaper. It's only about in fact, it's just under $9,000. I'm not sure how they're pricing it that low, but it's interesting to see that so many people are willing to buy this instead of the cheaper GM version of this, much cheaper, in fact. 10,000 pre-orders, when the Wuling Bingo has been for sale for a little while now for thousands of dollars less. So what kind of power does it have? Well, it's got 55 kilowatts, around about 80 horsepower. Peak torque is 135 newton meters. Car News, cnevpost.com says it does 0 to 50 kilometers an hour in 4.9 seconds. I'm guessing it will be able to do 100 kilometers an hour, but it's going to take a while to get there. Maybe about 10 seconds. What's the range? Well, CLTC range on that cheapest model for 11,000 is 305 kilometers. Now, you can actually get cars in China with a range that long for $6,000. In fact, even cheaper than that, even $5,000. However, there's a higher priced version that has the 405 kilometer range. Now, this is CLTC range. You're not really going to get that in the real world. Probably get closer to maybe 320 kilometers of range in the real world. The Seagull uses the Blade battery, which is a lithium iron phosphate battery, and the battery size is 30 kilowatt hours in the smaller version and 39 kilowatt hours in the bigger 400 kilometer range version of the car. The car has so-called fast charging. Don't know what that means, because I don't know of any BYD cars at the moment other than the new Yangwang, which costs $160,000, that have actual really fast charging, comparable to, say, the charging in Xpeng EVs or Teslas or Hyundais, Kias, Porsches, etc. I'm not sure what the charging speed actually is. Maybe 150 kilowatt would be my guess, because it can charge from 30 to 80% in 30 minutes, which isn't really fast for a battery pack of this size, to be fair. Now, looking at the interior, it's much nicer, in my opinion, much simpler and nicer than the BYD Atto 3, which is a car that I owned back in Australia. And I like the simple nature of the interior. It looks really minimalist. It's still got some buttons, but not too many. It doesn't have some of the wacky Ocean Theory series themes in there going on. Let me know what you think of the interior. Now, looking at the inside of the car, it's got a 6-inch instrument cluster for the driver, right in front of the driver. Then it's got a 13-inch infotainment system screen. I think it's the same screen in all variants of the car. The steering wheel, it's interesting. Sort of a flat bottom. It looks a lot like some of the steering wheels you get in Volkswagen Golf, the Golf R, for example. Not really sure the practicality behind having a flat bottom steering wheel, but it seems to be a fad that people are doing at the moment. It's also got wireless phone charging. That's pretty cool. 2 cup holders and 5 seats. Can you really fit 5 people in this car? Yeah, you can, but it wouldn't be very comfortable. So is this a car you should consider? Well, probably not. I mean, it's for sale in China. They'll probably sell it in Europe eventually. I'm going to guess that within 18 months, there's a good chance they'll sell this in Europe. North America? No. Australia? Very, very unlikely. New Zealand? Even less likely. Singapore, Southeast Asia? Maybe, but it's not happening anytime soon. This is really primarily a Chinese market car. Unlike the Dolphin, which is not. It's made as a car that they're going to sell everywhere. Many, many countries around the world. In fact, I think about 40 to 50 countries that will be sold in within the next 12 to 18 months. Same thing with the Atto 3. Those are 2 cars worth considering from BYD. If you're not sure what those cars are, I'll put some links in the description to my videos about other BYD models which are available outside of China. Will this sell well for BYD? I actually don't think it will. There's just so much competition in this segment and they're cheaper. BYD has a really good name in China. Unlike what people say, there hasn't been thousands of BYD fires. There's been a few. There's been a few in all electric cars, but no more than there has been in gasoline-powered cars. In fact, there's been more fires in gasoline-powered cars on average than there has been in any EVs made in China. So that's just a myth created by YouTubers and people trying to get you to click and watch their videos. The thing to keep in mind is that Chinese people are aware, most of them are aware of the technology that BYD batteries have. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are much less likely to burn. The fires that have been involved with BYD cars have been their ternary batteries, and they've generally been plug-in hybrids, which are obviously a gasoline-powered engine combined with a lithium ternary battery. Those ones have been more prone to fires, not very prone at all, but still more prone to fire, more prone to issues. So BYD's Blade battery, electric cars from BYD do have a really good name in China, but it can't sell just on name. Because like I said, the GM Wuling Bingo, much, much cheaper car. Similar range, actually a bit bigger. There's a lot of competitors. Now, yes, they've sold 10,000 in 24 hours. However, I don't think that those sales are going to continue. BYD are making a lot of different models of car. They've got about 37 different models right now. It's starting to get confusing. I've got to try and remember them all. Hybrids, EVs, there's so many models now. And they're spreading all the demand for EVs across all their range. I don't think any of them can be big dominating cars the way that Tesla has the Y and the 3, because they only have really 2 selling models, whereas BYD are just selling model after model. That's my take. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you consider one of these for $11,000 US?